it's not, never.
Oh, you're only a Giants fan.
Only.
I'm the Yankee fan.
Oh. 11 in a row.
They're really tearing it up, aren't they?
Whoa, no errors in 11 games. How can that
My God.
Oh, my father was a big Yankee fan.
Okay, so was my husband.
Yeah.
All right, are you ready?
Please.
You
Yes,
ready?
I'm ready.
All right. The meeting of the West Warwick Board of Canvassers for May 4th, 2023 at 3 p.m. is hereby convened at 3:03 p.m. Members present are Chairperson Ray Lambert, Vice Chairperson Nancy LeBlanc, Member JP Millette, alternate member Nancy Parenti, and alternate member Paul Richards. We have a quorum, so we can conduct our business. The first order of business is the approval of the minutes for the April 27, 2022 Board of Canvassers meeting. Everybody got a copy? Any additions, subtractions, corrections, modifications, or anything?
It's a small thing, but I just wanted a clarification on number 6 about the poll workers update. First of all, there really wasn't too much said about the discussion that we all had about working with the poll members. And second of all, I guess I took it personal about the reservations about the moderator and felt the list was biased.
Yes.
I went back and listened to it. And I did say reservations and I said hesitation because I wasn't sure how the Board of Elections would view Paul being the moderator and being on the board. And I had said that the list seemed a little biased, where in here it says felt the list was biased. I think that just seems a lot more heavy-handed. And I just didn't know why that was in, and the discussion about the poll workers was not.
I don't do word for word. I just do blurbs, okay? And the main thing about the poll workers update was Paul, and then we had, so I should have put in here that the girls didn't, they said no. I should have put who all of them were if you wanted me to.
I have a comment on that, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's just, I
mean, I can just take that out and I'll amend this.
well, I would like that taken out because I just think it was really relevant to the meeting.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
No, that was it.
All
And
right.
I would have liked a little bit about the poll workers, the discussion that we all had, but we can do that another time.
Anybody else before I say something? On the minutes. One technical thing, I know that you think I'm the chairman of the vice, but paragraph 6, last line by Vice Ray Lambert. I mean, I don't mean that you have to put chairman, but I'm not vice.
That's fine. You know what? I emailed these to you people for a reason. For you to call me and let me know what you have as a problem so that I can fix them before we come to these meetings.
Well, I've been kind of busy with PT and stuff, and
Okay.
I,
No, that's
sorry
fine.
if.
That's
you-
fine.
But I just think rather than picking out blurbs, it should be stuff that's pertinent to the meeting. I don't know, I feel that's a little more appropriate.
And I will redo all of these and I will send them out to you. And if you could just approve them then.
Well, you don't have, I'm not, it's not my job to approve.
Meeting.
That, it's not my job to approve your minutes.
Okay.
I don't think, is it, Sarah?
As a collective body, you approve the document,
At a meeting.
right?
At a meeting, yeah, it should be on record. Am I incorrect in that assumption?
You can make changes. If you saw something ahead of time, you could let her know about that. She could change it coming into the meeting, but then the document at the meeting, you still could make changes too. If you wanted to, let's say you thought of something in between, but the only place they can be approved as a body is at the meeting.
Okay,
But yes, if there was something you saw ahead of time, please call us and let us know if it's a typo, if it's, or if there's something you know you want added.
okay, I will make it a point to call you, but I just, that's what I felt.
Anything else?
No.
All right, hearing the additions, if I can call them that, of our vice chairman and my comment on the word vice in front of my name, I'll entertain a motion that the minutes be accepted as corrected.
So moved.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted unanimously. Excuse me. Okay, the next order of business is vote to approve poll workers for the May 19th all-day referendum. Everybody get a new sheet? Any-
Nancy, I emailed them to everyone.
Oh, we haven't got the email.
I did. Karen Simpson will now replace Paul Richards, and Paul LeBlanc will now be the other person.
Yeah, I didn't get a list of
I
the
emailed
poll
them.
workers.
I got a list of the new ones.
Yeah, I emailed them.
I got it on my computer,
Do I
but
have to go?
There's no clerk.
You want to see it?
yeah, we've
Forward.
never had a clerk.
Yeah,
It's,
There's no
yeah.
clerk, just a.
It's
Yeah.
combination.
but I'm sure Karen can do both. I'm
There is
sure
no-
Oh, yeah,
Karen-
yeah, but
There's no clerk duties.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
it.
okay, yeah.
Paul goes to supervisor.
She's gonna print you off the list real quick.
Pardon me?
On the sheet. She's gonna print you the list she sent to you.
Oh, I got it. I don't need it.
Can I have it,
Sure.
please?
Right there. We'll be in recess for a couple of minutes while the clerk is absent, making a copy of the poll worker list.
Did you read this?
Yes, I did. I have a call into the legal counsel. I just got that now. but
Yeah.
I got, thank you. That'll, in due time.
Thank you.
I go.
You got one,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nancy, you're the only one who didn't get one? No, I got one now, but I.
Oh, no, I got, yeah.
Oh, all right. Everybody got one? Okay. The poll workers now are Karen Simpson, moderator, Republican, Rachel Goslin, supervisor, Democrat, Paul LeBlanc, supervisor, Republican, Katrina Repose, supervisor, Republican, and Skylar Landry, supervisor, Democrat, and Dimity McGarrah, Agrita. Any comments or whatever? Before I do my, pardon me?
What'd you say?
Any comments
Oh, no.
on it before I do my
I got
spiel? Any comments? Okay, for the record, our clerk was correct. She did call Madison Fitz. And Madison did refuse. The problem is, again, she was offered, according to her, she was offered the supervisor's position. And she felt that that was a demotion because she's been a moderator or a clerk for the last 2 years, review, I mean,
Yeah.
2 or 3 years.
Well, what we
So
used
she
to
felt
do,
that was a demotion, being offered the supervisor's position, and she did not feel that she wanted to sit there all day and check in people when she had been the moderator or the clerk. Let's clarify that right now. But she did refuse, she was called, and she did refuse the position. But the gravamen of the situation is that she was offered the supervisor's position. She says, so I wasn't there, I don't know. And that's the one she refused. Everybody got that? Any comments on that? Olivia Fitz, I called Olivia. Olivia again was called by our clerk. And requested to work, or if she wanted to work. And as our clerk told us the last time, she said that she'd get back to her. Reason being, she's in her first year at CCRI, and she, as you know, late May is the time when they do their exams. They're out of school by June 1st. So she said she would get back to the clerk on that. But however, she didn't find out that she doesn't have an exam. I believe, yes, the day she found out she didn't have an exam, the day before I called her. And when I called her, it was the evening of the meeting that we had. So she found out the day before our last meeting that she didn't have an exam. So, and she was going to recruit people from, you know, I guess the high school, CCRI, whatever, to work, because she knows we're gonna have a problem in September, but now I don't know. So that's where that stood. I wanted to clarify the record. She did not refuse a moderator or a clerk's position. She refused a supervisor's position, and she told me the reasons why. Let's see. Well, I guess while we're talking about poll workers, we'll discuss this sheet that I just got for the first time from Bob Raposa. I personally called yesterday. I have a call to the legal counsel. Because as you see, Bob Raposa says he found nothing in the general laws, pro or con. That's important. Pro or con, whether you can do it or you can't. It's silent. Okay. And he says, but he says in his opinion, yes, a member or an alternate member of the board can serve in that position. But he also makes a point that he says, but remember, I am not the board. Now, I didn't know this existed, but I have a call in to the Board of Elections, to the legal counsel, because it just doesn't seem right to me, and especially not 2 pays. You have a comment on that? You said something the last time.
No, I mean, I think that Paul was just appointed the night before we had,
Oh, we know that.
had our
Yeah.
meeting. And, that, that kind of conflicted a bit. But his name was not crossed off of that list. So that list as presented included him. And I don't think it's a good practice to have someone on the board be a poll worker.
All right,
I
well,
mean,
right
in an emergency.
now, there's no problem because it's not on
we're
here.
discussing
But-
poll
But
workers.
we're discussing this for future elections.
That's correct.
Or in a case.
we didn't
that
vote on
Or
this
in
yet,
case
but-
that someone doesn't show up on the 19th and we have to
Right,
fill in.
That's a
Absolutely,
different
yeah.
situation.
Well, I mean,
That's
it's
an
hard to-
emergency like you did.
it's-
That's an emergent, at 7 o'clock in the morning, the day of an election. What are you gonna do? Oh, wait a minute, Sarah, go on the phone, get a moderator over here or a clerk.
But would it be legal or illegal? Either.
It doesn't say, and Bob Raposa, that's why I brought my book. It doesn't say one way or another, and he actually said it, that it
So
doesn't say
are
one
we,
way or
are we
another.
gonna wait till you get a definite from?
Oh, yeah.
legal Until anything's done?
Yes, this is a
Okay.
comment on, we're dealing with poll workers, so that's why I brought it up.
That's fine.
Okay.
But I mean, it's
Right.
moot right now
But
because
it-
he's
I-
not on
I
the
know.
list.
Right now, but,
Yeah. But we have
but
talked
we have
about this
this. if
a
it's
number
moot
of
right now.
times at meetings and at election days. We've talked about a board member sitting in for someone
Yes.
that, so this is nothing new. This,
And we have on several occasions,
yes,
Nancy
yes.
and I, and
Well,
right here during
Yeah, for
COVID.
lunch breaks or a bathroom break or whatever,
That's
yes,
right.
right. But,
Sitting
I-
in for Howie when he
It's-
went to lunch.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, but you're correct, but that's like hit or miss situation and very briefly.
But it is something that has been talked about occasionally. So why not get a ruling from
Oh, yeah, it's
the
fine.
legal set? Because, I mean, with what Bob Reposa said there, that's his opinion. But
Exactly.
if somebody should make a complaint against the board because of putting someone in a position, and the board rules that we were incorrect in doing that.
But what would the
I mean,
complaint be?
correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah.
That he's
But
doing two jobs.
won't that be something against us as a board?
Well, it depends on what the board of Elections decides.
Right, but supposing they ruled that we were incorrect in making that, putting a board member in that position.
I believe as long as we stay bipartisan with those positions, we'll be in good shape.
If you're
That's
not
what you
ready-
believe.
That's what I
I'm-
believe.
I got
And
something.
I don't believe it'd be a conflict.
I
of
got
interest.
something on bipartisan in here.
Okay.
So let me finish my point. Go ahead.
Okay, that's just, I mean, I think to have a definite rule one way or the other what would it hurt?
Doesn't hurt
I
anything.
can see your phone's ringing.
Yeah, I know, that's all right. I'll get it later.
Would you mind, I believe you said on the Zoom meeting the last time that when you stepped in as an emergency situation, you were offered two pays, but you
Yes. I was-
graciously refused it.
Yeah, I refused the clerk's pay because I was already getting paid for the
Well, it doesn't matter which one you get.
canvassing.
You
pay. I
should
received,
get the
I
top pay.
received one pay.
Okay. Could you tell us who offered you the two pays?
I did not.
No,
I would
Carrie.
have never.
Carrie Natalilo.
Right,
Offered you two pays?
Yeah.
which
Okay.
I would have ixnayed anyway. I apologize, but no one's gonna get paid for
Terry
two
would.
jobs on election day.
Terry, no, no.
Well, we kind of straightened that out now, right? So,
Right.
yeah, but that's how discussions, come up with some type of conclusion, and then it's not hidden or,
We're not trying to
talk-
do anything behind the scenes.
I think someone.
Oh, no,
Did-
nobody's saying that. We're just saying, I wanted to know who, you brought that out at the last meeting.
I wasn't going to get paid for two jobs. That's.
Well, that was very gracious.
No, I
That's what I
think if
said.
it had gone on, it wouldn't have,
I
because,
would have had to approve it anyway, and I would not
Yeah,
have,
that's-
no offense,
yeah,
JP,
no, no.
I love you. Pay you all double, but
I didn't want it. Thank
I got a
you.
budget.
I didn't
I
want
didn't
it.
think so.
All right.
So we continue? Yep.
Yep. Okay, I'll bring this up under general comment about poll workers, the rest of the poll workers.
I move we
So
accept
we
the poll
have,
workers.
a list of poll workers, which I just went through. Here it is. So we have a certification resolved that the attached is a list of the poll workers for the May 19th, 2022 all-day referendum, that it be certified. Anybody?
So moved.
No, I'll entertain a motion.
Oh,
Oh,
Go ahead. Is somebody going to make a motion?
I'm sorry, I was shutting my phone on. I
All right.
apologize. I just didn't want to disturb anybody about accepting the poll workers
As
list.
is, right here.
I will make a motion that we accept the poll workers list,
All right, the new poll workers
the
list.
new poll worker. Yeah,
And part of that motion is that it's Karen Simpson, moderator, Republican,
yes,
Rachel Goslin, supervisor, Democrat, Paul LeBlanc, supervisor, Republican, Katrina Repose, supervisor, Republican, Skylar Landry, supervisor, Democrat, and Dimity McGarrett is a greeter. That
correct.
part of your, that's
Yes,
the list you
that
want,
is
you're
part of the
moving to.
motion.
Hopefully
Second.
they show up.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted unanimously. Okay. Certificate poll workers. Hang on, my dear. All right, the next item on the agenda is approval of the polling place for the all-day referendum. I didn't give it to her. Let me see, here it is. There's it's not a resolution, but it's a certification of the polling places. Resolved that the attached is certified as a polling place for the May 19th, 2022 all-day budget referendum, West Warwick Civic Center Field House, 100 Factory Street. What's your pleasure? I'll entertain a motion if there's no comments.
I will move that motion.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted unanimously. There we go. Let's see. Okay, public comment. Paul? Norman, you got any comment for me over here? All right,
Anybody on Zoom?
the board, Madam Vice Chair.
No, I don't really have anything to say. Everything's all set for the referendum. I guess the machines are coming in the weekend before and
Yep, we're all good. Ready to
And-
roll.
we'll have some seats at the,
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
hope so.
And the
We
ropes.
have these?
These chairs in here,
Yeah.
I think they have nicer ones in the office there, but
Do
we'll
they-
make
is
sure you
this
guys
that
have
we
nice.
sit- Didn't we sit in these?
Yeah,
last
well,
time?
I thought it was these. It's a better chair than the,
Yeah, we won't give you guys any hard plastic chairs, we'll
Okay.
make sure.
No.
and
okay.
there's usually two
It's a long
tables.
day.
Yeah, it is. a
Yeah,
long
two
day.
tables, yeah, okay. I have nothing more.
Is there gonna be any parking restrictions?
I've already put a request into Lori and asked her to have be the change lineup at the school. She's checking
Oh,
with the
yeah.
school
Because they
right
got that
now.
whole Section.
Yeah.
'Cause
She's,
the kids get really nasty.
no, I
They'll
know.
park there and.
Yeah.
Unless there's a cop there before,
Mhm.
police officers there before school.
Pam, would you notify the police department that we may need some assistance on that day? Just clue them
Especially
in
in
what's
the
going
morning.
on.
When the kids are going to school.
You know what I'm saying? That there's an all-day budget referendum and be the change, I guess, parks over there. Sometimes we may need them and we have used them before.
Especially-
McGonaghy, remember McGonaghy was there?
Peter. And if there's something going on in the ice rink and you're gonna have the food bank, usually there's an overflow parking, but Peter was
Yeah,
there
but
to
they
shoot
go
everybody off.
To the end. They don't come near the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Nancy
year before the
Peretti?
carnival.
I don't have anything.
Paul?
Have you another?
Okay. Poll workers, not these. These have been approved. They're all set. I want to clarify certain things about the poll workers. And one thing you said about the appointment, I'll get to that right now, as a matter of fact. Upon the failure to elect, well, those are communities that are elect moderators and or appointed moderators in the voting districts, the Board of Canvassers shall appoint, and there is no provision that the appointment shall be made from or equally divided between the respective political parties. Bilodeau versus Dolan, 85 Rhode Island 348. Because I'm going to get to the party chairman in a minute. But if the party chairman do not submit lists of poll workers, and there's no poll workers, and we have to appoint, we may appoint and we don't have to follow Democrat, Republican. Does that answer any questions?
To fill a position at that day of election?
If they don't show up,
Okay,
I mean, if the party chairman don't submit lists,
okay. Well, that's good to know.
okay, that's one of them. Let's,
Is that one of the things you're referring to that you talked to Barbara Poser about?
no,
Is that just for moderator or warden or
it
supervisor
says
too?
upon the failure to elect moderators and clerks.
So it doesn't
And I would
apply-
imagine it would be supervisors too. I mean, yeah, why would they?
Well, that's because supervisors work in pairs. Moderators and
Well,
clerks don't.
you got a point there. That might be, but we are always saying, oh, geez.
Yeah, But
we're missing
but if it
something.
doesn't say supervisors, I'm sure it's just, so the moderator and clerk could be the same party.
That says it in here that the
Right, that's what I'm
moderator and
saying.
clerk shall not be of the same party. There's a law about that.
But unless they can't, unless you can't fill it, is that what it says?
I guess. I didn't read the whole case. I'm just, I went through my general laws.
So if the clerk were a Republican and the clerk doesn't show up, I could sit in their spot.
No,
You did.
Oh, I know, but I mean, that would be
you do that?
Yeah.
legally,
Yeah.
according, all right, that's fine, that's good.
All right, now, as far as the poll workers, Madam Clerk, I don't know why this was never followed, but anyway. The Board of Canvassers of any city or town at which there shall be submitted to the voters a question or questions for their approval or rejection, by which it say, well, it's the whole thing. It says that, oh, this is the one I wanted. All district clerks, see, they call them wardens, district clerks or whatever, but they're moderators and clerks. And district moderators in each of the Rhode Island towns shall be appointed by the local canvassing authority of each municipality at least 35 days before any election or district or town meeting. The appointment of the district clerks and moderators shall be from a list of not less than 10 registered voters submitted by the chairpersons of the local political town committees. Each town committee chairperson shall submit said names at least 15 days prior to the appointment date as set by the local canvassing board. And this isn't a case, this is a statute. If the local chairpersons fail to submit a list of names as provided herein, the appointment shall be made by the local board of canvassers from the voting list of the town.
That says it all.
Yep, the appointed, let's see.
Takes care of it.
The appointed district clerk and district moderator of a polling place shall not be of the same political party.
Okay,
So that
Okay.
fix it then.
Any district moderator or clerk elected to office in 2000, well, that's in case of that, and that case that I referred to is a case referring to that section. So my point would be someone, not for this election apparently, but although it does say or a town meeting, I would suggest that letters be sent to the respective town committee chairpersons with a copy of this statute saying, you better submit the names or we will appoint, which we've been doing anyway without, but for the moderators and clerks, apparently, for sure, we do not have,
But if the party chairs can do that, it would make life a lot easier
that's
for
correct.
everybody else
I don't know
here.
why this hasn't been, it's not used,
Because-
We do send it.
I mean,
I
because
have
when
the
you get a
letter.
list, at least you think the party chairs have already kind of vetted the list a little bit
right,
and talk to these people so that you're not making useless phone calls or things along that line.
that's right.
We do send a letter.
Yeah.
We send a letter to both the Republicans and the Democrats,
You know,
explaining what we need for the primary and the general election, the number of people we need, the money that we pay them, so that when they try to put the list together or speak to the people, they know what they're gonna make for the day.
Good, yes.
I already have the letters set to go.
I gotta ask a crazy questions. Suppose they don't have a political party in the town. Suppose there's no legitimate political party in town.
That means no chairperson has submitted a list and we appoint.
And then
And we don't
Board
have
of
to.
Canvassers take care of it.
That's.
Yeah.
And are we gonna go to the high school again?
I actually
Try
had
to
an
recruit.
email into the
Civic Center.
principal.
Remember when we did that one year?
Yes, we did, but the problem is, again, that's why I believe, as a lawyer, why they have like 15 days and 35 days. Because if you go recruit, you're usurping the party chairman. Because if they still got time to submit their list.
But I mean, if that's, I mean, the party chairman will come first, whoever the list,
Right,
if we go to the high school and we recruit those, just in case the party chairman don't come up with
that's
enough.
okay, that's perfect.
That could work.
I actually spoke with one of the party chairs yesterday, and they basically told me we need to up our recruitment because they're not gonna have much for us, so.
And the best way is some of the candidates to do it, because the candidates have usually friends, family, and things along that line. And
They're usually,
that's how I got
in
hooked.
my experience though, a lot of times they have the people closest to them out campaigning for
Yeah.
them that day, so they don't want them to be working at the
Yeah,
poll
that's true.
because they want them holding signs at different locations.
I think in going through the laws, I came across something about a candidate family working at a poll. You know what I'm saying? That they're, at another poll where he or she is not on the ballot, but on a poll where,
I think that's on the form.
on what form?
Poll worker phone?
Yeah, the poll worker recruitment form.
What does it
I
say?
can't work in municipal and, I mean, there might be something related.
Yeah, I
It might
came
be-
across something. I didn't know that was, going to
might
be an
be
issue.
something.
Pam, could you possibly just make a copy? The statute is 1711-6 of the general laws. If you make a copy and attach that to the letter you sent them, because, do it or forever hereafter hold your peace. And that means that we don't have to accept their, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, like you said, I'm sick and tired of having to, chase these people down and was it you that just said the party chairman said, well, get the people because we can't. I mean, they're not doing their job.
I'm certain that somewhere we have a list of everybody that worked at polls last year.
We do.
I do.
We
And
do.
if we could just maybe
I-
send them a postcard saying, "Hey, will you be interested
We have,
in working again this year?"
We have a letter drafted
Oh, great,
right
that's all right.
now that
See?
basically says,
But
you
you
know,
gotta
you
watch
worked
out.
before, these are elections coming up. Are you interested in working A, B? What positions have you worked? What positions are you interested in working? It's almost like a questionnaire, just so we can start a bank of
Yep.
people.
And that's an excellent situation. But like you said before, on your other topic, you got to watch out that you're not like you said, send them out a postcard. You interested in working? Yeah, okay, you're on. And Felix walks in and says, hey, I didn't get an opportunity.
Well,
No, not
that
him.
must be why
Somebody
they
that
have the
worked at the
time
polls.
period in the law.
I mean,
Because
Phoenix
they
is gonna
give
be
you
a-
30 days, it has to be 30, well, they do it 30 days, and then if they don't submit what you need, you can do it.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, you can't do that the week before or 2 weeks
Well, I
before.
think that even 35 days before is a little bit of a challenge, because when you're talking the primary and the general election, now Board of Elections is the ones that set up the training for all the poll workers, and that tends to be a month before, or at least 3 weeks before. So you really need to have your poll workers in line and pretty much know who you're using at that point.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Board of Elections don't follow.
I mean, I think that you guys are well within your rights. I mean, there's 39 other municipal, or 38 other where one.
What did you do in Richmond?
I never got recommendations from either party. So my board hired everybody.
Without that, you didn't get recommendations without asking?
We used to send a letter to them every year, and that was it. I mean, we had a lot of repeat poll workers. We're able to retain a good group of,
Which you don't have did you have the polling places we have?
not as many as you guys have,
Yeah.
of course not. We don't have that many people, or didn't have that many.
Because I think you're going to have a big problem this year, right?
Yeah, and especially the primary, all the people that are on the ballot.
They get all their
They're gonna
families
bring
out
all
to
their
vote and
people in.
everything.
Yeah.
So we, like I said, Pam helped me draft a letter for the poll workers that we've had already in the past, or anyone else that we have an application on file for. And I also have a flyer that we'll be posting on our website and social media.
All right, may I suggest that when using this timetable, when you have your meeting for September, that you invite them here? I want to talk to those party chairmen.
A meeting in September, I'm sorry.
I'm sure you're going to have a meeting. The meetings for the referendum are all done. We got the referendum on the 19th.
Oh, you're
also.
meeting with you guys
Yes,
for September.
The primary.
when you're
Okay.
going to have a meeting of this board about the September
Oh,
election,
yes, yeah, we will.
I want those two chairmen invited
Oh,
here.
sure.
Sure.
Mm. Yeah, I
Agreed?
agree. Yes, I agree, because they've been very helpful when they used to come in the past.
Well, Joe's not with
Yeah.
us anymore. And he was,
Tammy Collins is.
no, Tammy's there now, yeah.
Mm. Yes.
All right, let me see if I got anything else here. Uh,
Good.
Yeah, there's another section, Pam, if you want to look at it, 171111. Selection of wardens, that's moderators, and clerks in the cities. At least 35 days before any election, the local board in each city shall appoint for each polling place within the city where an election is to be held, a warden and a clerk, not from the same political party. The appointment shall be made from a list of not less than 10 registered voters presented to the board by the city or town committees of the political parties at least 45 days before any election. That's where you get your time.
And we need 20. We don't need 10. We need 20.
No, well, a list of 10, no, this is,
Yeah, well, just before, to get through the nose and.
Yeah,
and
but
the
wait a
amount of
minute.
People you need.
yeah, but wait a minute.
Because we need a moderator and clerk for each polling location.
Right.
So
That's 20,
people.
right?
Yeah.
Not from a list of 10 from each party. That's 20.
That's 20.
That's 20.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
all right. What about the cities that have?
I was just gonna say, I mean,
Well,
That's us.
that's what I was gonna say. I mean, that's kind of a random number in there because if you got more than 10 polling places, you need more than 10
Said
names.
that 17, 11, 11. right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, one more thing, public comment. I've been scouting polling place parking lots and the average open parking spaces at a certain place is 13 on any given Tuesday. It could be either more or less, but 13 seems to be the number of parking spaces. And if we have 10 workers there, that'll cut the parking spaces down to 3.
Is it possible that the workers park at the library?
They could.
You
Yeah,
check,
especially during the
Or
day.
get permission from Dollar General, maybe.
Or, yeah, I remember.
so you're only talking.
Well, the only
about
problem-
one
Just that
vote.
one place.
Okay,
That's-
Well,
it's
parking
Christ the
there is-
King,
We don't-
Wakefield.
Christ the King
The only
is
problem,
excellent.
parking
Easy.
is that far away.
Yeah.
Is
Most
all the
meetings,
stuff that's gonna be
parking.
carried in
But I
and
asked the
out at the
clerk
end of the night and
to
everything
talk
else.
to,
Right, someone might have to move their car up closer.
Yeah.
right?
Sarah, did you talk to, I can never remember that guy's name. Who's the head honcho of those housing authorities?
I have not spoken with a person of the housing authority, but I do know that we.
Is it a rock?
Yes, I think it is.
Our council member, who that's his polling location, and the head of the Democratic Town Committee have voiced very strong opinions that they do not want to see that location moved. So I think they don't. So I think that we need to try to do our due diligence to find a way to make it work.
You're
Be my
talking about
recommendation.
Okay,
Vitale's.
yeah,
Yes.
they're
And
gonna have-
I don't want to talk about this too much because it's not on the agenda and I don't
Okay.
want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, we're not
Right,
voting on it.
right, but we're not
on it.
voting on anything. It's on the
Just
comment.
For discussion, maybe next meeting.
I think,
Yeah.
I think, Sarah, you should check I came here for a special little tete-a-tete with the Board of Elections over Felix and Al's complaining about a polling place. And the board found in our favor. So, this thing about they don't want it moved.
well, I also think that.
I'm just telling you to
Just-
check
no,
with
no, I'm
O'Rourke.
just giving you the other side of it, because I know that you guys have some concerns.
And we can't, by law.
You can, yep, I'm sorry, you can, what's that?
We can't move a move a poll place from a,
From
It would
a,
have to be approved and
But
everything else.
there was something about O'Rourke and Mary Ann Kelly discussing it and Kerry about, they didn't want us there anymore.
And our town solicitor said that they can't tell us we can't go there.
that's, yeah.
I did ask our solicitor on that one. He said they can't tell us we have to leave. So my thought is, let's find a way to make it better.
I don't know who owns Land Motors anymore.
It's sold again.
It's
Yeah.
Sold
David,
again?
David Studley, right?
David Studley
Yeah,
owns
that's
it.
what I heard.
Oh,
Um,
I mean, that's, well, and there's
So
plenty
people
of
are pretty sure
parking.
have it, so I'm personally, I mean, ultimately it's up to you guys, but my thought always is that people are always gonna go back to vote in the place that they voted last. And so I don't like to move polling locations unless it's like really important.
But it's very difficult to vote there.
Yeah.
You get
So we got-
elderly
But
people.
yeah, because they were talking about opening up the filing for that day.
Open up
That's
what?
dangerous.
Yeah,
I know that, but I mean, with supervision.
What?
well, all you need is 1 or 2 rescues that have to go in there or something. or-
Yes. And you're talking about what a housing
That's
for
what I'm
the
saying. I mean,
elderly.
that's-
yeah,
that's-
yeah, housing for
where they
the
go.
elderly, yeah,
And-
that's
and-
like.
and who knows better than the candidates? Because, I talk to every candidate that's there, Burke and Norette and everybody else, and they all say the same thing. So,
What do they say? They want it,
well, they just, what can they do? It's,
did they want it moved?
I mean, I can't,
I mean, I can understand why it's hard to move it because a lot of the people there don't drive, so they just come downstairs. It's extremely convenient for them. But
okay.
If they.
like,
live
I
next door.
think your approach, trying to make it work, get it to work better or something along that line. We just need a little more cooperation from them, particularly
Side by side.
usually.
Oh,
to
yeah, I
maybe
wonder if they
cancel
could
their bingo
use
the night before, so
The
they think she
residents
gets
could
set
use
up.
some of the parking.
See, that's the other thing. They don't want to you know, you say that they want us there because
Yeah.
all they have to do is come downstairs.
I don't
But like Paul said, they don't want to play ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But they want everything.
Yes,
He used to be a fireman, right?
And so you're gonna, there's gotta be some give and take. And, because I know I've worked there when that was the only polling place not set up. And so you're going there, you're told, hey, it's gonna be set up, so now you're going nuts trying to get it set up. And sometimes moving tables, taking them down because they had it set up for bingo and it was left that way.
Right.
So now you get all their banquet type tables that you gotta take down and move and get them out of the way.
Right.
And, sometimes people just aren't physically able to move them and stuff. So it takes away from, the moderator's job to open the place to make sure the machines are
I
okay, the
understand.
50 yards, the 50 feet, I should say, and all that. The clerk, so it could interfere with the polling place opening on time.
and for whatever reason, I think that one of the last elections, that's one of my polling places, when we each had 2 polling places, the Manor. West Warwick Manor, you were the moderator.
Yep.
No problems over there, right?
No. No, one of them we did at the.
No,
at
that's one of
Robert
the
Street.
housing for the elderly
time-
too.
One-
What's the
there was-
problem over there?
Yep,
There
one
was a-
time I think it was, I can't remember if it was the primary or not, but at Robert Street, they didn't set things up right, and we had to set it up that morning.
One time?
Yeah.
Well, this thing, Clyde,
We-
Oh,
never
Clyde
had a
Towers,
problem there.
it was a regular occurrence.
yes,
In Monsignor.
Monsignor's going, so.
I know, but I mean, in Monsignor. Prior to,
I really think that we should put some effort into, thinking of ways to make that place better, helping the parking situation, maybe some compromises we can make there.
Yeah, I mean, if they could,
People that live there come first.
But when you say
Yeah.
helping the parking situation, JP apparently checked it out. Right?
but I mean.
Is there a way we can help it
And
that you
I'll
saw?
tell you what, I've got to say that I don't count handicap parking spaces.
Okay,
There's always
There's a
10
lot.
handicap parking spaces open,
but
but I don't
You
count
can't
them
park
as,
there.
yeah, except if you're handicapped.
well, yeah, but
But I mean, there's plenty of handicap parking spots, but as far
Would
as regular parking spots,
would it be possible to, to some of the people that have a car there that may not be driving that day, if they could park it maybe over at Dollar General or
unless you got the-
the other
I
place, so
don't
that
think
they could
so.
free up some parking places in the light, just for that Tuesday. So Monday night, they can move their car. And then they could go back or something if they could, even if you got half dozen or 10 people to do it, it frees up, at least it frees up some parking places.
Something we can talk to them
good
about.
luck on that one. That's for the day, remember?
Yeah, well, I'm saying that because some
And
people,
it's
I'm sure they don't
cancel
drive
later
every
on.
day. So if they, if they're not planning on going out anywhere or anything else, if they
Give me
could,
your keys, I'll move your cars.
valet service. I mean, that's the only,
Valet-
I mean, that's the only other thing
Yeah,
is,
there you go.
that's the only other thing is if you had to have voter parking, say at the library, I don't know if there was a way to get a shuttle or something along that
Yeah.
line.
JP, in your travels over there, did you see any way that it could be alleviated, the problem?
Only if we could use the handicap spots,
Say,
if they make them available for election day.
How many spots did you say were open other than the handicap spots?
The average is about 13.
And
But-
that polling location only has, what, 2,000, a little less than 2,000 in it, right?
but remember what he said, Sarah, 13, but he didn't, when he had started including the poll workers.
Yeah, it shuts down.
We need the poll workers to move.
Yeah. And I imagine Dollar General will let them park,
Yeah.
like in the front row.
Right.
I mean, the street,
Facing the
yeah,
street.
facing the street.
I'm wondering if, I'd have to go over there and take a look, but I'm wondering if we even if we made like temporary signs, like voter parking only and put them on cones on certain spots. just
That's,
to-
I don't
that's
think so.
exactly.
I don't
Nancy?
think we could do that, no,
Uh,
no, she said,
All right,
voter parking, no, you can't. You can't take their handicap parking places.
Not handicap, regular parking spots, just designate 5 spots or so that are just
I
for voter
don't
parking.
know.
well, we'll see what happens. We'll inquire and see what happens. All we can do is say.
What about
no.
that, like on the opposite side towards the laundromat?
Yeah.
Really full.
I know.
It's full too. with
Who
the
parks it?
tenant.
Is it the workers
That-
that
no.
park there?
No, those are tenants.
Tenants that
Well, I-
park there?
I looked at that
Tenants
also.
park there.
Next to Ray's Laundry.
So I'm wondering if that's,
Those are all tenants. They put a gate so that they can go in that way.
so that must mean the original parking lot's not big enough anymore for all
I
the
guess
tenants.
not.
Or maybe it's closer to the door, I don't know.
That could be.
It's closer to the ones in the back.
Yeah.
So it's right there.
Anybody got anything else to add
Nothing else?
on the general comment? No.
I do.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, name and address, please.
State and zip code,
Yep.
Paul LeBlanc, 19 Navarre Street. In the discussion, you wanted to have the chairman of each party come into one of your meetings to discuss about the poll workers. How about at the same meeting or another meeting, have the head of the housing authority come in and explain to them the problems you're having with that certain polling place?
We can,
Work with you guys rather than somebody just.
Oh, I know.
No, but I mean,
You can't
you,
make the party chair come either.
Can't issue them,
correct.
can't issue them a subpoena?
I know, right? If only we had that.
We don't have subpoena powers.
Dang.
That's it.
Oh, wait a minute.
All right. Having passed through our regular order of business, I'll entertain a motion. We adjourn.
I'll move that motion.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So